I did it, guys! I finally reached Legend and in one of my favorite cups of all time, Halloween Cup. I am so excited. I also did it with a very unbalanced team. This team is ABA weak to so many things, it's not even funny. If I see Toxicroak, I basically have to top left with this team. But you guys, the number of positive sets I got in Halloween Cup is insane. So it worked out for us, and I sometimes got RPS, but let me show you guys the results. I got 9 positive sets. I started off in the mid 2700s, and in 2 days, I was able to get to 3019 elo with this team. The team is gonna be Escav on the lead with Greninja on our safe swap and Poniard in the back. Now I use Greninja as a safe swap because Greninja will draw out fighters and reach a move, whereas if Poniard were to draw out a fighter, it's not gonna reach anything because Poniard is double weak to fighting. Here's the thing. You are ABA weak to fire, you're ABA weak to fighting, and you're triple weak to Toxicroak. So as long as you don't see any of those things, you're gonna be fine. But in all seriousness, I would recommend swapping out the Poniard for Mandibuzz because that would make the team a little more balanced. You could also, if you want to run the same format of team but you don't have a Poniard, you could swap Poniard for Scissor, but the team is going to be very, very squishy, so good luck. You need 5 shields. So I did my part. I warned you guys, if you try this team, I don't want to hear anyone in my comments coming and saying, oh, your team sucks, I tried it and I lost with it. Nope, 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 I warned you. And really quickly, before we get into the battles, I included something very special for you guys at the end of the video. I streamed my battles to my friends, and some of the parts of the stream were so funny, I just had to include them in a little compilation at the end. So here's a timestamp for when those clips start. If you get bored of my commentary, feel free to skip to the end. With that being said, let's get into these battles. So immediately we have a terrible, terrible start. My entire team gets swept by Toxicroak, and I have to top left. Really great start. Moving on, we are going to see on the lead a Mandibuzz into our S-Cav, which is really, really bad for us. I'm going to immediately swap into my Greninja and draw out the Toxicroak. Now, sometimes baiting works and sometimes baiting doesn't work. This time, I went for the Hydro Cannon, and thank goodness I was able to land it, because if I hadn't been able to land that Hydro Cannon, I would have lost this game 100%. But now, because the Hydro landed, I am in a very good spot. I take out the Toxicroak, and then my opponent brings back in Mandibuzz. Now, I have to go for these Mega Horns because Mega Horn is going to be neutral, whereas Drill Run is going to be double resisted. I decide to let my S-Cav go, and hopefully my Poniard in the back can sweep whatever my opponent has. I'm not going to shield anything from Mandibuzz because everything Mandibuzz has for Poniard is going to be resisted. Now my opponent brings in Scissor, and I'm going to go for the Night Slash, and I get the boost, which is going to be amazing for us here. Going to go ahead and shield whatever Scissor throws at us. My opponent also gets a boost, unfortunately. Going to go for a second Night Slash, and guess what? We get a second boost on the second Night Slash, and now I'm going to be able to farm down the Scissor. Now all I need is 2 Night Slashes to take out this Mandibuzz, 1 to get rid of their final shield, and the second one should be enough to KO the Mandibuzz because we are double boosted. We get to a second, we throw it, we take out Mandibuzz, and we take that win, giving us the first win of that evening. On to the second game, we see a Carbink lead. Now, I don't really like to stay in this match. What I'll do is I'll throw the first Drill Run, and then I am going to attempt to catch the Rock Slide on my Poniard. So I do 1 extra just in case my opponent throws after 1 extra fast move, and I am able to successfully catch that Rock Slide, and I draw out a Greninja. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let Poniard go, but my opponent decides to bait with Night Slash, and it is not gonna be able to take us out. I am able to reach an Iron Head, and I am able to also reach a Night Slash, and this is going to be enough to KO Greninja. And now my opponent brings in Palossand, farms us down, but I have Greninja in the back, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it in. Now I have to watch out for Scorching Sands because Scorching Sands is going to do quite a bit to Greninja. And unfortunately, I go ahead and I throw a Night Slash, and my opponent is able to catch it on Carbink. I should have probably waited there. That wasn't a very smart move. And here I throw the Drill Run, and then I realize that my opponent can farm me down completely with Palossand. So unfortunate that I am letting him get all of this farm, but I go ahead and take a shield with a drill run. Now I just need to reach 2 Night Slashes to take out this Palisand. I'm gonna let the first Scorching Sand go, which does so much damage to us, but I am able to reach 2 Night Slashes and I take out the Palisand. I played that very, very messy. I let my opponent catch a Night Slash and then I brought in SCAV and I let them basically farm us down completely and have so much energy to throw on Greninja, but luckily Greninja is very spammy and we were able to take that win. But on to the next match, we see another Carbink lead. Now I want to try to attempt to do the same thing and catch a Rock Slide on Pawniard, but this time I wasn't really feeling confident swapping out because my opponent was throwing at really weird timing, and they also went ahead and shielded the drill run, so I wanted to stay in just a little bit longer and possibly land one of my drill runs, but because my opponent double shields, that is a sign that they are maybe weak in the back to SCAV, so I have to save it. Now, I do try to go for a catch on the Rock Slide on my Pawniard, but unfortunately my opponent is smart. They don't throw it, they go for the Moonblast, and I go ahead and shield because Moonblast is going to hurt Pawniard so much. Now my opponent has an Azumarill aligned to our Pawniard, and this isn't looking too good, but I'm going to go ahead and throw these Iron Heads, which are going to be neutral against Azumarill. Unfortunately, Azumarill is very tanky. I am able to reach a drill run on Azumarill. I don't throw at the best timing because I just want to get the drill run off and take out Azumarill, and then I can bring in Greninja against their Carbink, and this is going to get very tricky because my opponent swaps in Wormadam. If Wormadam reaches a Bug Buzz, I am dead. I can only hope that 2 Hydro Cannons is going to be enough to KO Wormadam, and it is, and then my opponent brings in Carbink. They realize that they can't reach a move, and they top left because a Hydro Cannon is going to be enough to take out Carbink. So moving on to the next match, we see a Nidoqueen on the lead, which is actually a very good lead for us. However, it gets scary with the whole bait game, and I have to call if this is going to be a Poison Fang here. I decide to call it. It turns out to be an Earth Power, and my opponent is able to take out our SCAV and farm us down completely and have so much energy for whatever I am going to bring in. Now I decide to bring in Greninja because Greninja can reach a move that will KO Nidoqueen faster than Pawniard can. So Pawniard has to reach the Iron Head and Greninja can reach Hydro Cannon. I take out the Nidoqueen, but not without the opponent debuffing us with Poison Fang, so I go ahead and blind swap into whatever my opponent brings in next. I swap Pawniard to clear that debuff, and I throw these Night Slashes and I get a boost. The algorithm is being so kind to me with all of these boosts. Now I probably should have shielded the Bug Buzz here, but I thought maybe I would need a shield for Greninja in the back because Greninja is very squishy, and Greninja with a shield up can do quite a bit in this cup. But my opponent brings in Greninja and he lets the Night Slash go, a boosted Night Slash, he lets it go. And now it's going to be Greninja versus Greninja. We both have a shield left and my opponent has less health than I do. My opponent has to go for 2 Hydro Cannons, one to take out my shield, and the second one is not going to be enough to KO us. Now I do, however, take his first shield with Night Slash, and then I go for the Hydro Cannon just in case Night Slash is not enough to KO his Greninja. And we take that win, and that is 4 wins in that first set of the night. Now I only included the last 3 sets that I played to reach Legend in this video because I didn't want this video to be 3 hours long. And also I played these games at midnight right when my games refreshed. So you can tell I was really excited to reach Legend, like I really, really wanted it. So moving on to the next match, we are going to see a Dragalge on the lead. Now, this matchup actually isn't fun for either of us. Both our fast moves are going to be resisted, but if I manage to land one Drill Run, I am going to be able to take him out. However, if Dragalge double shields, they are able to take us out. I let the first Aqua Tail go because I can survive it and reach another Drill Run. However, I have to shield the second Aqua Tail in order to reach the second Drill Run and take his second shield. Now, my opponent goes ahead and swaps into Scissor, and we actually simultaneously swap. They swap Scissor and I swap into my Pawniard. And I am going to be able to go for these Night Slashes, which are going to be neutral against Scissor. The Scissor is able to reach 2 Night Slashes, however, and they're not able to take us out with the second one. I am going to go ahead and throw my second Night Slash and take out their Scissor, and my opponent has a Nidoqueen in the back. Now I just have to be very careful here not to let my opponent catch a Hydro Cannon on Dragalge. The opponent goes ahead and throws a Poison Fang, and I go ahead and I let them catch, unfortunately, on their Dragalge, but this is actually okay. I swap out of Greninja to clear the debuff, and I bring in Escaf, and I put Dragalge in farm down range for Water Shuriken. And now I have a Hydro Cannon ready on Greninja for Nidoqueen, and it works out in the end for us, and we take that win. GG's to my opponent, and well played. Moving on to the next match, we are going to see a Victory Bell on the lead. I haven't seen this yet. My opponent goes ahead and immediately swaps into Mawile. I guess they were hoping that I would swap automatically, thinking that it had Fire Fang, but it doesn't, so I'm going to go ahead and stay. I actually need Escav aligned to this Mawile. Now what I need to do here is I need to win switch, so I'm going to have to double shield my Escav, and as long as I can win the switch in, I can align Pawniard to their Victory Bell, which is going to be easily able to take care of that. Now my opponent lets the second Drill Run go, and their Mawile goes down, and they bring in Scissor. I'm able to reach a Drill Run on Scissor and take their final shield, and now I have Greninja aligned to Scissor. As long as my opponent doesn't have X Scissor, I should be fine. My opponent immediately brings in their Victory Bell, and I have to swap into Pawniard ASAP. I reach the Iron Head. Leaf Blade is not able to take out Pawniard. We are able to take out Victory Bell. Now my opponent is able to farm down my Pawniard. Now I have to pray that they don't have X Scissor, and it looks like they don't. They go ahead and throw a Night Slash. They have a second Night Slash. It is not going to be able to take us out because it is resisted, and I am able to reach a Hydro Cannon and KO their Scissor, and we take that win. Lucky for us, they did not have X Scissor, otherwise I would have been toast. Moving on to the next game, we are going to see another Dragalge lead. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and play it out the same way I played it out earlier. I'm going to go for these drill runs, but this time my opponent throws Aqua Tail immediately. I'm going to let it go. I know that I can reach 2 if I do invest 1 shield. I throw the drill run, and my opponent goes ahead and shields it. And now I am going to invest a shield because I want to take his final shield, but I have to be careful here of my opponent catching. I throw in the middle of his Dragon Tail so that he doesn't catch, and it takes his final shield. Now I go ahead and bring in Pawniard because I don't want to take too much damage on my Greninja, although now looking back, I think Greninja might have been the better option because Greninja resists Aqua Tail, so that Aqua Tail damage wouldn't have done too much, and also I would have been able to reach the Night Slash pretty quickly and take out Dragalge. Now my opponent brings in Nidoqueen, and I make a huge mistake, and I stay in the matchup to throw these Iron Heads, although I probably should have swapped into Greninja immediately because Greninja can take out this Nidoqueen very easily. I'm going to save my final shield for my Greninja because Greninja with a shield up in this meta is very strong. I'm going to go for this Night Slash on this Nidoqueen before they reach a Poison Fang, and we're able to take them out, and my opponent has Shadow Scissor in the back. This Hydro Cannon is going to one-shot and destroy this Shadow Scissor, and we take that win. GG's to my opponent. Okay, now moving on to the next match, I'm not really sure if I deserve this win because here it looks like my opponent lagged a turn, and I am able to CMP on the Night Slash when they reach Sand Tomb. This actually isn't supposed to be CMP. They are supposed to reach Sand Tomb before I reach the Night Slash, but I'm able to get that Night Slash damage off on their Runerigus, and that's unfortunate for my opponent. Now they're going to go ahead and bring in a Fortress and farm me down completely, but I am able to get 2 Night Slashes off, putting them in counter down range for my Escap. Now I just have to watch out for the Earthquake, which is going to do a ton of damage. It is going to be neutral against Escav. I think this first one is going to be the Earthquake. I shield correctly, and my opponent is not going to be able to reach another Earthquake because Bug Bite, their fast move, is such a slow charging fast move. They are able to reach a Mirror Shot. They don't get a debuff on us, thankfully, and Mirror Shot is resisted, so it doesn't do too much damage to us. I'm able to reach 2 drill runs on the Runerigus and take both of my opponent's final shields. And then I'm going to immediately swap into Greninja because I don't want the Runerigus to farm down my Escap, and they had the potential to farm us down there, which would have been scary. Now my opponent is going to swap Pawniard, and I am able to land a Hydro Cannon and Hydro Cannon with Water Shurikens is going to be enough to take out the Pawniard, and my opponent sees that they are not going to be able to win that there, and they surrender. Moving on to the next match. On the lead, we see an Azumarill, and Azumarill, unfortunately, is another Pokemon that this whole team doesn't handle very well. I'm going to go for these drill runs, which are going to be neutral against Azumarill, and I just have to watch out for the Hydro Pump. Ice Beam and Play Rough are going to be resisted. I decide to call a bait, and my opponent goes immediately for the Hydro Pump, one-shotting our Escav. This game isn't looking too good for us. I needed that Escav for Azumarill, and there is a very high potential that my opponent has something in the back that is also going to be weak to Escav. I have to shield Play Rough because it does too much damage, and I'm going for these neutral Iron Heads on the Azumarill, and my opponent realizes that I can farm down Azumarill. They don't let me, they swap immediately into Scissor, and I just have to hope that it doesn't have X Scissor, but unfortunately it does, and my Greninja is going to be completely toast. I'm not even going to get to see what their final Pokemon was because my entire backline was wiped out with one Scissor running X Scissor. Unfortunate, we get some of those losses sometimes. But it doesn't matter because we get another 4-1, putting me 35 points away from Legend. Moving on to the next game, we're going to see another Dragalge on the lead. You know how we play this. We're going to go for these drill runs, reach 2, shield 1 Aqua Tail, as we've always played it. My opponent is going to go ahead and shield the first drill run. Does my opponent decide to shield the next drill run? That is the question. I'm going to no-shield the first Aqua Tail, but I shield the second so that I can reach my next drill run, and unfortunately the game lags there and makes me do 2 more counters, so I throw out bad timing. However, it doesn't matter because my opponent lets the Dragalge go, and we both have 1 shield left. Now, I am going to bring in Pawniard just in case my opponent has that X Scissor. My Pawniard will be able to take it a little better than my Greninja. But my opponent saves all their energy, and then they bring in Drapion, and I decide to call that my opponent is running Aqua Tail and Crunch. Unfortunately, they are running Sludge Bomb, and we take a Sludge Bomb on Greninja, but here I realized that I had the potential to farm down with my Pawniard, so I stopped tapping the bubbles. However, my opponent realized what I was doing. They also undercharge their Crunch, and my Greninja survives. So they get farm on Scissor. I'm going to go ahead and no-shield the first one, and we are so lucky it is a Trailblaze, and I am able to take out the Scissor with Fury Cutter on my Pawniard. Hey guys, guess what else my team is ABA weak to? Golurk! We see a Golurk on the lead, and unfortunately I have to stay in. At least I'll be able to get some shields out of Golurk with these drill runs. I'm gonna go for them. And we take their first shield successfully, and I'm gonna let my Escav go. Hopefully with shields up, my backline should be okay against whatever my opponent has. Gonna bring in Greninja, and my opponent brings in Toxicroak. Now, if my opponent lets the Hydro Cannon go, which they do, it lands. We will be able to take them out. Thank goodness. My Pawniard might have a chance in the back. I'm going to go ahead and throw Hydro Cannon on whatever my opponent brings in. They bring in Charjabug, and that does about 50% of their health. And I'm going to go for these Night Slashes now on this Charjabug. What I need to do is I need to overfarm as much as I can. The goal is to take out the Charjabug with a Night Slash and then have 2 Night Slashes loaded for the Golurk. My opponent realizes what I'm doing. They immediately swap in Golurk, and they let the Night Slash go, and it one-shots them. Now my opponent is going to bring back in Charjabug, and I am able to reach 2 more Night Slashes, one to take out their shield, and the second one takes out the Charjabug. That was so hard counter for me, and it could have gone very, very badly. But because my opponent swapped in Toxicroak instead of Charjabug into my Greninja, I was able to take that win. But moving on to the next game, we're going to see a very spicy lead of Crocodile into our Escav. This is also a very good lead for us because Escav has counter for Crocodile, which is a dark type. Now my opponent brings in Toxapex, and Toxapex is not an answer to Escav. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the Toxapex weak with a drill run, and then I'm going to bring in my Pawniard, which is actually going to be able to take 2 brines from this Toxapex, and it looks like we are going to be able to farm down completely before my opponent can reach a 3rd brine on Toxapex, and we have so much energy for this Crocodile. I thought I could reach a 2nd Iron Head. Unfortunately, I don't, but the first one gets his shield, and then I immediately bring in my Escav, and my opponent has a Tentacruel in the back. They are running a full team weak to Escav, and I am in a very good situation here. I'm going to go ahead and shield the Scald luckily it's Scald, and that was a good shield because now my SCAV is very healthy, and I am going to be able to throw these drill runs, which are going to be super effective against this Tentacruel. I think I'm going to go ahead and shield again. Yes, I shield the Scald and I'm able to farm them down. And now, because my opponent has no shields left, I am able to reach a Mega Horn on my SCAV and we take out the Crocodile. GG's to my opponent. That was such a spicy team. But unfortunately, I want to get to Legend. On to the next match, we're going to see another Dragalge lead. I actually really don't like this lead. Gonna play it out the way I've always played it out. However, my opponent this time attempts to catch a drill run on their Golbat. But we swap out immediately into our Pawniard, which is going to be resisting all of Golbat's moves. But I had no idea the Shadow Ball, which is resisted, is going to be doing that much damage to our poor Pawniard. Now, I should have baited instead of going straight for the Iron Head, but unfortunately my opponent shields it and their Golbat is still pretty healthy. I felt like there was no point shielding a Poison Fang to get another move off. So I let my Pawniard go, and now I have to bring in Greninja because SCAV is actually not great against Golbat, but I think I should have brought in my SCAV here because I could take the Poison Fangs pretty easily. Now I get an attack boost, but unfortunately I am debuffed and this Aqua Tail doesn't do too much, but the Dragon Tails are doing way too much and I need to look for an opportunity to swap out to clear my debuff, and then my opponent brings in Amanda Buzz. This is not looking good for us. I have to be going for these neutral Mega Horns, which are actually going to be doing a decent amount of damage. However, I mess up here big time when I go for the bait on the drill run. I throw on alignment and my opponent sneaks in an Air Slash, and unfortunately because of that mistake, I'm not able to reach a Mega Horn. We simultaneously KO, and then I bring in my Greninja, and my Greninja is taken out by the Dragon Tails on the Dragalge. Actually, even if I hadn't made that mistake, it wouldn't have made a difference. I still would have lost. But on to the final match. We are going to see a Golbat on the lead, immediately swapping into my Greninja, and my opponent is staying in, which is actually okay for us. I can let this Poison Fang go, but the second one is going to be doing more damage because we are debuffed. However, my opponent swaps out with a little bit of energy, and they bring in Carbink because I am in a range where Carbink can farm us down. They take a Hydro Cannon, and now I am going to bring in my Pawniard instead of my SCAV because I actually don't want my SCAV to be taking a lot of damage from these rock throws. The rock throws are going to be neutral. My opponent is going to go ahead and build up to a Moonblast, and I have to make a call if this is going to be Rock Slide or Moonblast. Unfortunately, we get baited and we shield a Rock Slide. However, my opponent only builds up to another Rock Slide, and I know that this is Rock Slide and I don't have to shield. Gonna go for this Iron Head. It takes out their Carbink, and then my opponent brings in a Shadow Tyranitar. That is amazing, but I am trying to get to Legend and I don't really want to see that. Okay, so then my opponent brings in his Golbat because I swap into my SCAV, and Golbat is in a range where I can either Drill Run him or take him out with the counters. I go for the Drill Run and my opponent goes ahead and uses their final shield, and because I swapped out of my Pawniard with energy, I'm gonna be able to go for this Iron Head and take out their Tyranitar. And my Pawniard is 1 HP, by the way. I was streaming to a group of friends and they were freaking out when they saw this. They really thought that I had misplayed that because I let the Poison Fang go on my SCAV, and SCAV could have easily taken out Tyranitar if I had shielded that final Poison Fang. But that was the final win I needed to reach Legend this season. I am so happy. It is a load off my shoulders. We reached 3005 ELO, and I'm so happy it's over with. I can finally run Spice. Yes! Oh, also, I go ahead and I play the set afterwards to get my Pikachu Libre, and I actually win the set somehow. I did try a few different Pokemon, but yeah, we got the Pikachu Libre too. And as I told you guys earlier, I was streaming to a small group of friends on Discord, and I have it all recorded. It's quite something. I don't know, I'll let you guys decide. So if you're looking for a laugh, stick around. My streams can get very chaotic. I hope you guys enjoy them. 6, 7, 8. Do I shield?
I wouldn't. They always bait.
This morning they earth powered me.
But don't listen to me. But I say all Nidos like to bait.
Okay. Yeah.
Boost. Give us the boost.
Oof.
Boost.
Yes!
Wow. Big. That's big.
Do you farm down or do
No,
you
no, no.
tap
I'm
Night
gonna
Slash?
throw the Night Slash. Okay, wait.
Tamam, okay.
You've got to be kidding.
I mean, to be fair, it's only fair. You get the boost, you have to get the boost too. It's only fair.
Is that 4?
Another boost. Yes.
Okay, now we farm down. No, I don't live a move from.
My mouth have magic.
you've
When
got
I
to be
say another boost, you get another boost.
He has a shield left. I'm not gonna be able to take it out.
Have faith. If
You
he's
can
one
make
away,
another one.
you win. If he's not one
Yeah.
away, night.
Yeah.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
That's a win.
Oh
That's a
my
win.
gosh.
Still, you're boosted. Yeah, you win.
yeah.
And if you want to know, he's one away from a move. So either way, you win.
Second?
No.
Swap. Good. You have to let it go.
Leaf Blade doesn't KO attack.
It actually does, unfortunately.
No, we lived. Thank God.
Abud, brother, please stop talking.
Bro, mine doesn't live that.
This is a good one.
Okay, I'm joking. I don't even have a pawn here.
Please win CMP. Please. No.
You win CMP against... No, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
You don't win CM. No, I guess
It's Night Slash. Okay. No, we're good.
I told you.
Oh, Scissor. Wow.
Bro, it's a scissor. What do you expect? Yeah, this thing wins CMP over Gambantula. And you tell me...
No. Really? Does Scissor win CMP against Gam?
I don't know.
I don't believe you. I'm gonna
Scissor
check.
wins CMP against a lot of things. I don't know.
It does.
Okay,
It does, bro.
Wait, I'm gonna check.
Bro needs evidence.
Yeah, no way.
Bro, it's a scissor. You compare scissor to Galvantula, bro. You gotta be tripping.
Okay, let me check. Yo, Gal win CMP.
No, it don't. Trust me,
By
it
one.
don't.
Wallah by one, bro.
Okay, guys.
People.
Okay, bro. You have a hunt. You have a hunt.
Galti again.
On what league?
Okay.
Great League.
1,
Great League.
Yeah.
3,
Okay, what about Ultra League?
4.
Of course, Galv. It has 15 attack.
Galf.
You guys let her concentrate, please.
Oh, okay. We're sorry, Taf.
Galf.
It's okay.
Okay.
1.
What about I grab my phone, I use the scissor and use Galvantula and we find out.
But
Because,
man,
bro, I don't believe
oh,
these things.
Oh, let her focus.
Okay, 2.
This one don't KO. You need one more shuriken.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh no, I can't.
Actually, scissor is.
Doesn't KO, huh?
It's one of two things. Your Greninja is 15 attack, or his IVs are bad. It's one of two
Greninja has
things.
5 attack.
Then it's his IVs.
Mm.
Mine lifts that.
We are good.
Let's go.
He left.
Oh, he top left.
Mm-hmm.
For skill issue.
Why? He lose.
Yes, skill issue he lose. Otherwise he would have won.
If he didn't top
Oh.
left, he would have won.
Abud al-Muhim, he trolls someone. If he's not trolling the person playing, he's trolling the opponent.
So when you were doing your legend push, no one talked.
It's okay, you guys can talk.
But there was someone who yelled at me a lot.
Bro, I was giving you a coaching with the team. You
I know. Bro, I have to. What can I say?
okay, but she doesn't need coaching. You know, she doesn't need.
I'm
help.
not. Who said I'm coaching?
He told me not. He told me not to shield the poison fang, and it was an earth power. That was very good advice.
Thank you, Abud. Thank you. Good.
خلاص،
Now, wow.
يلا.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
يلا
keep
any
going.
paid actor pay up.
No paid actors. We'll do this without paid actors. We do this the hard way. Even if we have to drop.
Abood,
اه
I love you, brother, but unless she asks for help, don't help her.
It's okay. He's making like Betsy said, he's making noise to help me think.
Thank you, Abood.
يعني I'm bored. I have to bully someone. It's either the streamer
Yeah.
or the opponent.
I can't wait for your legend push next season. I can't wait.
Wait, who?
Wait for you to do the legend push and stream it, so I can help you like you're helping Taffy now.
Okay, do it. No worries.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for telling me this early. I will not stream then. I'll hit it at my own.
Wow.
See you, Bitsy. See you.
Okay, bye.
You're
She's still here? No.
See you, Sidman.
Not me, you idiot. Bitsy.
What, who?
That was bad. That was so bad. Where's Sideman to yell at me for my timing?
I'm yelling inside.
Oh, if it were November, and we would be hearing so much yelling right now.
Yeah, you know us Arab, we don't yell at women. Yeah.
This is dynamic punch, right? I'm playing so bad now. And I get baited.
GG's.
Okay,
Come on.
all right, on the right, Taffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't worry, I have it memorized.
Congrats.
Oh, we don't know if this is enough yet. We don't know if this is
This
enough.
guy is good, but
Let's see.
29 assisted. Your
Wow.
opponent is
Legend.
good. Your opponent is good.
Let's
It's
see.
guaranteed legend, guys. She
Let's
did
see.
4
35, yeah,
1.
35. Yeah, you got it, Taffy.
Yeah.
You got
Okay.
it. 3006.
Okay, let's see. Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
Congrats.
Let's go!
One off.
Yes!
Wow.
Thank
One off.
God!
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Too
Okay,
pro. You're too pro.
thank God.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Thank
Nice
you.
Libre
Change
set
the
or
code.
no?
Huh? No, I'm not gonna play. It's 1 a.m. I have university tomorrow.